Cue relaxing music. Ooh, ah. Welcome to Yoga with Rita, or as I would like to say, Yoga Rita. Yoga Rita. Okay, well, welcome. Today we're going to do a very relaxing activity. We are going to learn 9 yoga poses. Yoga helps us relax our muscles, helps us concentrate, and helps us reflect about life. It doesn't seem hard, but trust me, it's hard. Um, but I know that you got this, and this is a good habit to just incorporate in your everyday life, and it will help you a lot in the future to de-stress and just get away. It's also a great form of exercise if you do not like running or, super intense workouts. But yes, let's get started. Okay, so the first pose that I am going to show you how to do is a very common pose. There's more complicated ways to do this pose, but I'm going to show you the beginner and easiest way to do the pose. It's called upward dog. So what you're going to do for this pose, you're going to lay down in your belly. And also, you want to grab a yoga mat if you have one. If you do not have one, you can grab a towel or a blanket. It really is just so, you get to have like a space and an area where you get to do your poses. So a towel works really great too. So for this, we're going to lay down on our bellies. And we are going to just plop onto our bellies. And then we are going to take both of our hands and put it in the corner of the towel or yoga mat. And we're going to stretch out our legs. And then we're slowly going to bring ourselves up like so, creating an arch in our back, relaxing our toes, our legs, stretching them out as far out as we can. After you're done for a few seconds, you can start to lay down again. And come back up and sit down. So now I am going to teach you the second yoga pose. This is called the mermaid pose. It's really cool. So for this pose, we are not going to lay down on our bellies. What we're going to do is we're going to stretch our leg. This is my left leg, but for you it might be your right leg. Depends on how you're watching it. But we're going to stretch one leg out like this, pointing to the direction, and then we are going to fold the other leg like so in a triangle, touching the knee of the other leg, so it's going to look like a little triangle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our arms and we're going to stretch our left arm as far as we can, trying to touch our toe, and then we're going to take our right arm and we're going to try to stretch it on the opposite side. So this is called the mermaid pose. Because you look like a little mermaid. So now I'm going to show you my favorite pose of yoga. This is called the butterfly pose. And all it is, I'm sure you've done it at school. You try to kind of sit crisscross, but you don't sit crisscross. So you're just going to create like a little butterfly wing with your feet, touching both feet and putting them against each other. And then the point of this is to try to get your feet to touch your back. I know it is impossible, but try as farther as you can. And what you're going to start to feel is tension right here in your thighs. And it's supposed to be feeling like you're supposed to feel something right here in your thighs. And then you straighten your back out like this. So right here, you're just relaxing your back and your thighs. And I just want you to take a deep breath and a deep breath out. And just think about what are you grateful for today. I am going to teach you the 3 other poses that I have planned. So for this pose, I am going to stand up, and this pose is called the star. So we're going to look like stars because we're all stars. In God's eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our legs as far as we can. Then we're going to take our arms and raise them like this, but don't raise them all the way up. Try to level them to your shoulders. And we're just going to stay in this position. Woo! As a star. And what you're going to feel is you're going to feel your shoulders, your biceps right here. You're going to see that they're going to start tensing up, and also your legs. But like I said before, if you keep doing these poses for like 5 to 10 seconds, after you go back to your normal position, you'll start to feel more relaxed. And also you're building muscle while you're doing that. So it's really great. The fifth pose that I am going to show you is called the rainbow pose. So for this pose, we're going to be standing straight as we can, and we are going to keep one arm. This is my right arm. I'm going to keep it as low as I can. So I'm going to try to reach the ground without moving. So I'm going to try to reach as far as I can on the ground while staying put like a tree trunk. And then I'm going to reach my other arm, and I'm going to create a rainbow without moving my head too much. So I am going to create an arc over my head, and this is going to look like a rainbow. So the hand is my arc, and while you start, the trick for this pose is to try to stay as straight as you can while bending your arms. So this might look easy, but it's actually a little hard. So you want to do the same for the opposite side. And there we go. And then we are going to go back to our normal pose. Okay, so now we're going to learn the 3 final poses of yoga with Rita, Yoga Rita. So this pose is called the ragdoll. I think it is the easiest pose. But it will really help you stretch out your arms, and it's really fun. So the whole point of this pose is just to let yourself loose and just let yourself go. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand, and then we're just going to let ourselves fall slowly. And we're going to try to touch our toes, but I cannot touch my toes. So we're just going to try to leave our hands loosely, our hair, just, let it do crazy things. And you're really just going to let your arms do whatever they would like. My arms are choosing to just do circles right now. And just try to lift all the weight out of your arms and just really relax. And then when you're finished, just slowly come back up. Our next pose is going to be called the dolphin. This is one of the hardest poses that I'm going to show you today. So what this pose, what it contains is that we're going to do kind of like an upward dog, but we're going to do it downwards this time. And we're going to let our elbows be straightforward. I'll show you. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly just, start laying on our belly. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a push-up. Just kidding, we're not going to do a push-up. So it's like if we were doing a push-up, and what we're going to do is we're going to take we're going to curl our toes, and we're going to raise ourselves up, creating a triangle. And then we are going to put our elbows down. And we're going to try to space out our legs, do a triangle, and put our elbows down, making ourselves a little dolphin. Whee! Okay. All right. So now we are ready for our last pose. I'm very sad that this is almost over. But I'm super excited for you guys to try it out. So this last pose is a frog. So what we're gonna do is we are just going to jump into a frog. So we're just gonna, you know how you guys jump like a frog? We're just gonna do a frog. So what we're gonna do is you can jump, and we are going to just bend our legs while squatting down, and we're just gonna do it like this. Rivet. So in yoga, we don't jump that much. So you're just gonna try to stay in this position for a few seconds. But yeah, so I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me with Yoga with Rita, Yoga Rita. And I hope that you enjoy this activity. Yoga is a great way to de-stress,